on the reggae radio every time, every time, every time, every time, every time.
My Mundo Reggae Show family, this is a special date for the Mundo Reggae, for you worldwide enjoying the interviews on MISSLULU and the Mundo Reggae Show channels. With me is for you from Kingston 7 in Jamaica, the Rebel Data, AZA Lineage, linking up. Welcome to this your space.
Check 1 3, Miss Lulu. Thank you for having me. Shout out to all of your listeners, them of course. Yeah, man.
Shoot out from Honolulu, Hawaii, all the way into Mexico and Jamaica, and the
Oh
world
gosh.
enjoying and linking up with your music long time ago already.
True. We follow each other on Instagram, and you've been supporting for a good while, so I'm grateful for that. Yeah, man.
I am grateful for you to recognize that for sure. I been, if I'm not mistaken, a fan and a supporter from day one of
Yes.
AZA Lineage. I remember I would like to start this conversation saying that when I was broadcasting in 2017 from Tijuana, I remember playing your first tunes, and I vividly remember when the Havana Means Kingston promo came out, and I say, I've been playing a few tunes of this artist, and you better watch out. You better keep on tuning with AZA Lineage name. She made it to the Havana Means Kingston, and the road is just open and looking bright for her. And I'm very glad and proud to say I was not wrong in that prediction.
Give thanks, sister. It's true. Havana Meets Kingston was a very early project. At that time, I never had too much knowledge of a lot of things. I was just singing because I love it, and it reached your ears. So Havana Meets Kingston, big up Jake Savannah and all the participants of the album.
Totally. It was 2017 then, and the album came out, and I say to myself, I gotta keep up with AZA Lineage, and I luckily get a copy of that album. We're gonna be talking about your first vinyl participation to your last vinyl participations. I've been slow with the dancehall data, your last 7-inch, but I'm proud to say from OVF to jammies to jammies again, and more tunes. AZA, you are a true recommendation from the Mundo Reggae. And I'm happy to let the people know a little bit more about you as a person, as an artist. You just say it, you had a slight idea of what you were doing. You were just doing it because you love it. That was 2017. We're talking on April 2023. You're fresh from your visit to Mexico for the first time, which I'm glad that just happened. You have fresh projects coming on. We're gonna touch down on everything properly, but I would like to hear the growing up of AZA Lineage.
I grew up with my family, my extended family. My parents were teenagers, so it was my grandmother who stepped in and guided me throughout my years coming up. I had a lot of cousins. We played a lot at that time. There weren't too much gadgets, so we play outside. We go to the river, we pick fruits. I went to a primary school in the area, Hope Valley Experimental Primary, and from Hope Valley I went to Holy Childhood High School, which is an all-girl Catholic school in Kingston. And school was pretty smooth, to be honest, in terms of connection with friends and things. And after school, I went back to do like a sixth form course. And then after that, I went to work as an entertainment coordinator in the hotel industry, for 2 years. And that gave me some experience in dancing, connection, socialization, communicating with other people effectively, singing, they gave us speech and diction training. That was quite a good experience, And from after that, of course, I have a little daughter. She's 10. yeah, man. And it was just music from that, you know. So in a short story, you know, after that it was just music, and up until this point.
Your entertaining job, what would be one
Mhm.
day at that job? What would you do?
It was a cool job, you know. You get to wear your shorts and your sneakers and your work shirt, and you just get to have fun with the guests, you know. Make sure that they are having fun, you know. We have scheduled events throughout the day and night, you know, that we will host on a sound system. We will host like a dancing. We'll host like everything that surrounds entertainment, you know. That was a really cool job, you know. Very fun.
The foundation of AZA Lineage behind the microphone, I guess. That was your first experiences on a stage in a microphone, or how did you actually get interested or discover that you wanted to entertain somehow?
Okay, growing up, you know, there was a sound system in my yard. My cousins, they built and operated a sound system called Serious Goal at the time. We were very young, so we weren't allowed to go to the dances, you know, but it's right in front of the gate, so we can hear, you know. So, and then also my grandmother she went to a revival church, and in that church is very active with dancing and drumming and singing, you know. It's full of Africanness. And now I'm going to school, you know, we dabble in the choir a little bit, you know. High school, it was the same thing. We dabbled a little bit, but my first experience on stage might have been in high school, where I entered a competition. I remember they were giving away a phone, and they had a talent competition, and I wanted the phone, you know. So I entered the competition. I sang a song. I didn't win, you know. I came about third or second, you know. And at that time, I still had no like ambition of being an artist or a singer, you know. I just know that I can sing. I sing for my little friends at school, you know, my community and thing, you know. But I can say my very first recording experience was at 16 years old. I did a dub plate for my same cousins that had the sound system in the yard. They had migrated to America, you know, and that summer they came back. So we did a dub plate. It was, you say it mash up the place still. I never see, I never hear, but people tell me, you know.
Original style. You started from the top of the sound system business before even recording a song of your own. You were recording dub plates already.
Yes, ma'am. Without even that, it was by my cousin's direction, you know, because as me say, he's a sound man. It's not like I say, yo, I want to do some dub plate, you know, but now I see. So, you started off doing dub plates. That's a good start.
Nice experience. I'm curious to know if you remember which song did you sing at that contest, or what rhythm was that first dub plate that you recorded?
All right, for the dub plate, I don't remember the rhythm, but I remember the song. The song was a Keisha Cole Sing Over. My cousin rewrote it dub plate style, you know, and I sang it and thing. And for the competition, I think it was a Ashanti song, you know, at the time. She had a tune called Baby, you know, we're young, we're teenagers. We have the MTV and the BT, so we seen this music, you know, and I sang that. Baby, 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 baby. That was the song for the competition.
Now that you say it, I can totally see a little bit of that feeling on your touches and your voice and your compositions. What about that influence? Is a big contrast from Ashanti and the MTV music in that time. I personally grow to the same music channels and of course Mexican influence, but how was in your music taste development?
As I said, you know, at the time, you know, we were introduced to the cable. So we had the MTV, the BT, the VH1. So all the music at that time, you know, and of course it caught my ears, you know, it caught my ears. So it went in, you know, so I guess it comes out now on a subconscious level, you know.
You come from the lineage of very talented people, from the sound system to singers and writers, to you yourself are a great writer. What was the first tune that you actually wrote, and what was the first tune that you actually recorded? Was that the same?
Right. I always like to write because I like to write poetry from high school days, you know. But the first song I wrote and recorded, wow, I can't remember. No, man. I wrote plenty songs before Africa. Africa skipped the line and go first. But even where I'm from, I wrote that in about 2015, you know, before we meet up with Jake and thing. I think that was one of the earliest tune.
So Africa was your first release, also 2017. You've been doing big steps from them to now working with big producers worldwide, from Havana means Kingston, from Cuba to Rasuf to Evidence Music from Switzerland, the dancehall data himself, King Jammy. How's that been the evolution for you? Do you feel it's been just happening fast? It's been happening on the proper time? How you been feeling?
I take it as it comes. You know, I don't turn away from work. I am happy to collaborate with producers from all over the world because then it gives you an experience, you know, and also an opportunity to be introduced to their crowd, you know, because music is big and wide and I can't cover everything by myself, you know. So shout out to all the producers that you just mentioned. And of course, my boss, King Jammy, big up every time. Yeah,
Big up to all those producers working with so many producers. It means you are very versatile. You manage all kinds of styles.
True. And then it also gives an opportunity for me to learn about their cultures. Because when I went to Mexico the other day, I was given a cumbia rhythm, you know, it's nice. Yes. Nice. Very nice, you know. And Razuf is somebody that experiment with sounds a lot, you know, so that even opened up my musical ears too, you know. So working with all of them is educational and fun at the same time.
Your music itself is very educational. It tells us from the dancehall scene, the sound system scene, to the history of where we're coming from, where you coming from. One of my favorite tunes is actually a Rasuf production, the radio show tune, which totally represents my feelings. Where your history of writing or your inspiration for what you write and sing comes from?
I might seem talkative, but I'm not. But you see, writing is a way that I express myself, you know. The inspiration comes from life, my own life, my story. I live in the inner cities of Kingston, so there's a lot of other empress who also has their story, you know. Life, my experience in life give me the inspiration for those lyrics, you know. And I also, at the beginning of taking music seriously, I told myself that whatever I write must be something we can, you know, elevate the people. You know, music is fun too and all of that, but I know that I have a responsibility, especially with the words that I utter over a rhythm, you know.
You are a mom of a 10-year-old girl, you just say it, and I hear you in I think it was the Reggae University at Rototom talking about your experience as a teenager mom. You yourself were a daughter of a teenager parents.
Wow, talk about generational cycle. But it stops with me, you know.
That is something truly important that I would like to touch down with you. How did you come to that reasoning? It's only for your own experience, the experiences around you, and of course around the world. You are not the only one. There's thousands of women and men too in the same situation. How's that experience been for you? Were you a mom already when you started or decided to pursue a career in music?
Yes. I was already a mom. She was a baby at the time, you know. So, I mean, wow. It's a crazy story. I was already a mom, you know. So, you know, you have to toggle the two. Or no, I am in a place where everything merges, and everything is centered around family first, and then music. We try to put everything together. But in the beginning, it was quite a challenge. You want to touch the road, to make it happen, to be seen, to look what is going on, to learn what is going on. So sometimes you have to get someone to stay, and that can be a challenge sometimes. I have my cousins, but they're young. It's not their responsibility. I don't want to burden them with that, with my youth all the time. So I have to consider that too. But now everything is everything. She's very much into what I'm doing. She watches the videos, she listens to the words of the songs. And now my family is more aware of what I am doing. So of course, the help is coming forward.
Glad
with my
that
personal life. Yeah, man.
I am glad that everything is working properly for you personally and professionally.
It's not an easy road, but it is well worth it.
What about the Rastafari influence coming from Jamaica? As many times I have said, we in these parts of the world assume that Jamaicans are pretty close or grow into reggae, into knowing this culture, but not all the times is like that. When did you discover this path for you?
After I had my daughter, they say sometimes when you have a child, it broadens your horizon. So I just wanted that change. At the time I used to wear the long hair and the nails, and I have no problem against that. If a woman wants to look beautiful, she have all right to. But for me, I wanted a change. So I said, you know what? I went to the barber, cut my hair. And just wanted to feel brand new. I was thinking in a different way, and it's two ways in Jamaica, really. It's either you're Rasta or you're Christian, so I was caught by Muta Baruka's stepping razor. The things that he would say in that program would open up my mind, and have me thinking differently and questioning a lot of things, so I guess that was the seed that was sown there. And even growing up, my father had a lot of Rastaman friends, and them used to then reasoning and debate, and so maybe the influence was there from that time, but I can remember me making a decision to say, yo, I want to go a different way, like change up my mind how me think, try go in a more meaningful way, so it was that program that made me say, all right. But then I don't limit my thinking to just one thing, because everything is everything, if you know what I mean, But this Rastafari faith is the foundation for me.
A foundation that seems reflected properly in your music and all your projects. You have just released Kingston to Cali in the EP, and you are working on an album. Tell me how's the experience in the studio has been. Did you had a mindset of, I want to pursue this style, I want to do this style first? How has been you choosing the rhythms or the styles that you've been working with?
Sometimes the producers will send over a rhythm. All right, for instance, a man like King Jammy, his rhythm catalog is so big and so vast, so when I hear it, sometimes you sit in the studio, me knowing that so many energies have come through that studio, so many hit songs were sung in that studio, so many big rhythms were built in that studio. So I sit sometimes, quiet my mind, and just channel the energy, and a song will come. The song will come, Sometimes, so you're in a conversation, you speak about serious things, and not knowing, say, one day you're going to make a song about it. So that's why it's important for you to talk about certain things, So it goes on a subconscious level. But working with King Jammy is a learning experience, I get to listen to him catalog and hear the different vocal styles, the different styles of writing, and that is, trust me, I feel blessed, Trust me. Never would I thought that, but I am grateful. Grateful for the connection, grateful for the musical works, grateful for the teachings too, because he's like a mentor musically. you know. So far, the work has been great. So shout out to King Jammy and his entire family too.
Totally. Shout out to the Don Dada himself for opening the doors of the studio to the young generation from a long time ago. He's been recognized for giving opportunities, and you're right, there's so much history coming from the studio, and now you are gonna be part of that history forever, eternally.
Oh,
It
wow.
means a lot for not only reggae lovers, but all kind Jamaican culture lovers. Would you like to explain the Kingston to Cali title of
Yes,
your new
please.
EP? Talk about those tunes. Included some of those tunes were already on rotation on the radio show, a couple of them, and then it came to a full project.
All over, hear the creator. I am first, you ain't sensing me. The times are changing, my people, let's live it up. Too many people don't care and some don't give a water. Some people have it a waste and some just need enough. I just the roots, the radics, the reggae rockers. Unite the nation and we burn out slackers.
Yeah, man. So shout out to Natty Megs, my sister, you know, from Cali, hence Kingston to Cali. She's from California. I'm from Kingston, Jamaica, you know. And we made a connection through the internet. She loves reggae music. She's a reggae producer. In communicating, we found out that we both are mothers, you know. So we will have conversation about womanhood, you know, motherhood, you know, just music in general. She would share the music that she had released before, because she's a producer, as I said, you know. She expressed interest in working with me from seeing me from a video clip, you know. I think in 2017 or 18, she came to Jamaica with her family and we met, you know, she met my family, I met her family. And ever since then, we've been working, you know. The process of recording, it was not rushed, it was not forced, you know. I have a home studio, and by this time I would have gotten the rhythms, you know. I wake up with a vibes, we write a song and we record it. The recording engineer was Smiles, my brethren, you know. Yeah, man. So shout out to Smiles, who's also featured on one of the tunes, Plant Up the Herbs. As I said, it was not forced, you know, we just had a chemistry. Me and Megs, you know, we had a chemistry and things, so we made it happen. It took about 7 years. Because some of these rhythms, I have them from 2017, you know, so, but not before the time, I guess. Nothing before the time.
And totally cooking on slow heat and came out
Nice
to the
food.
perfect tenderness.
Cover girl, cover girl, cover girl, cover girl, constantly. Here is my shoulder, I'll be your friend, and I'll be that one who make you smile again. I rub your back with shea butter. I'll bring you food on a platter. I'll wash your hair by the river.
So what is your favorite fruit from Jamaica? If I touch down in Jamaica, what would you tell me to go eat first?
Oh, wow, Jamaica has so much nice food. Oh, wow. Me's a jelly girl still. I love coconut, you know. So, and them sweet, very sweet. It's a meal by itself. Wow, you can check out Ibo Spice. You have some really nice Ital food, you know, properly prepared. You have you have a variety of stuff, you know. If you love seafood and them thing there, you can go out by Elsha, you can go out by Gloria's, you know. What else you have? I cook I'm a yard most of the time, you know. You also have what's his name? Oh gosh, what his name? Dr. Spice.
Okay.
You also have Dr. Spice who cooks some nice food, you know. I'm telling you about in and around Kingston, you know.
There you get some
I like to cook my
foodie
own food.
What is your favorite food to cook?
All right, me like a good ital stew with some nice rice and peas.
Getting hungry already around here. I'm sure the audience is too. There you get the foodie recommendations. It sounds like everything in music has been happening truly organic for you. Also, besides the Kingston to Cali, you have a recent release in connection to Mexico in Natty Congo Crew. How that release happened just in the middle of your tour in Mexico.
All right, shout out to Natty Congo, Pedro, Wago, and the whole crew. So he came to Jamaica, you know, we met on the internet. I tell you, the internet makes the world smaller. But he had already had plans to come to Jamaica. So when he came to Jamaica, we link up, you know, and we did the video. He had sent, no, let me tell you, he had sent me the rhythm before with his part on the song, because he had started the song already, you know. And basically, I just worked with the vibration that he was saying, he was singing. We came up with Circadity. And he came to Jamaica and we did the video. You know.
I wanna be close to you. Close to you, you. I wanna be close to you. Close to you.
What can you tell me about your experience in Mexico?
I was very nice. To me, it was like a spiritual journey, if I should say, you know, as a native space. Wow.
You got to perform in a sound system style. You got to perform with a backing band too. What was the contrast for you to see both sides of the movement in there?
I mean, the people seem to appreciate both sides, you know, because we played in Cultural Roots Club. Yeah, man, and that was a sound system vibe. That was a nice vibe. We played in another club. The name is not coming to mind now, but we played in another club in the ghetto, which was very nice too, you know. And then we played two band shows, one of which was Natty Congo's 23rd anniversary. They're celebrating 23 years. Doing
of
reggae
constant
music in
contributions in Mexico.
Yeah, man. So that was pretty cool. The people came out, they supported him, you know. And the band was nice. One of the band members, shout out to all the band members, of course. One of the band members was a yard man, you know, Jaffo. So big up to Jaffo. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Migu, big up yourself every time. Hernandez, big up yourself every time. And of course, Warpy, big up yourself. Cool vibe. You know, we had a nice connection with the band, and it came on stage, you know.
I'm happy that you got to experience the fast growing movement in Mexico of the both sides, the sound system, the stage with a backing band.
True. We also went to Kaya. That was a vibe. Oh my, that was beautiful. You know, they were playing some reggae and dancehall that I haven't heard in a long time, but you know, the vibes did off the chain in Kaya. So shout out to Kaya, you know.
Shout out to all reggae lovers in Mexico, in Hawaii, definitely. And worldwide. You have been traveling from Europe to Mexico, back and forth, and you're in Jamaica right now, enjoying your land and preparing for an album, as we were talking about your jammies. Meet AZA meet jammies. How's that going? Can we expect something more besides those 7 inches and collaborations that are out already coming up soon?
Yes, we will be making some appearances. You know, I can't speak about them yet, but we will be making some appearances, so you can look out for that, you know, coming soon. Of course, along with the project that we are working on, you know. And in the meantime, Kingston to Cali is out. You can check it out, you know. So all the listeners, if you haven't heard it, you can check out Kingston to Cali, you know.
You can check
man.
out Kingston to Cali and plenty other release. You're on the Lioness Rise rhythm. You're on
Yes.
plenty different rhythms, looking up for more collaborations in all styles and formats as the Mundo Reggae Show loves. You're a truly versatile woman and a true promise of Jamaican music in what my opinion concerns.
And give thanks for your constant support. You know, it's like fuel to say, keep going, keep going.
If you have to choose a style of reggae music, what would you say? What is AZA Lineage listens daily when she's not listening to her music?
I listen to a lot of reggae music, a lot of rubber dub. I listen to a lot of rocksteady. I listen to a lot of dub. You know, I listen to R&B music. I love jazz music. You know, I'm into dancehall, like clean dancehall. You know, dancehall is a vibe. You know, so like from the foundation, my boss is, you know, can be said is the curator for dancehall. You know, so I don't limit to what I listen. You know, music is sounds, no matter the language. You know.
If you like to choose a tape, a CD, a vinyl, to keep just one of each in your collection, would you recommend something?
Wow, music's so big and wide. Get yourself some Dennis Brown, and some Bob Marley, and some Peter Tosh. Yeah, man.
What about any female recommendations that you can give us? You yourself are representing big time the female movement around the world. You are part of it now, but did you ever notice any other female or the unbalance on it?
A lot. Firstly, I'd like to say shout out to Mama Nancy, the queen, you know, Sister Carol, you know, Marcia Griffiths, Judy Mowat, you know, Rita Marley, you know, Lady Saw, Carlene Davis, Tanya Stevens, you know, so all of the queens, your contribution is worthwhile, you know, and you have inspired a lot of people, not just me, you know, so I feel like, and of course the generation that is here now, big up on itself, you know, we are continuing the thing. So yeah, so many female in our music, I respect all of them, as I said, all of them.
Shout out to all the females that have been an inspiration for you. Shout out to yourself, AZA, for being an inspiration, not only for me as a reggae lover and supported of reggae music, but to plenty women's and men's around the world. People is gonna go, if they're not following you, they will go right now and keep up with all the music platforms where your music is available, with all the formats that your music is available, plenty vinyl coming up, and in different formats. Plenty releases too. We keep on tuning into AZA Lineage and the Lineage family for sure.
Yes, I shout out to the Lineage family. True. I'd like to say thank you for inviting me on your platform. You know, shout out to Honolulu, shout out to Mexico, to all your listeners. Thank you. To all your supporters. Thank you. Because I know they're going to go and support me now.
They've been supporting you, and they've been waiting for this conversation for that. I am sure. I know for sure Honolulu is waiting, and I know for sure Mexico is truly happy to have you, and plenty cities that you haven't visited are gonna keep on waiting for you to come back there.
Yes, we take it one step at a time, you know. Let's see how the journey goes.
Sure, we're gonna link up physically pretty soon.
Yes, yes,
Big respect, AZA. Thank you so much for your time. As a classic of the Mundo Reggae, I would like to close asking you a long time, 16 years question of this show. If you would have the opportunity to be here by the whole world at the same time, what will be your message?
Wow. Wow. Everything is internal. Everything is internal. Your friends are here, your enemies are here, your success is here, your failure is here, you know. Everything is internal. Keep the vibes positive, you know. Rasta only surrender to the sound system. Positive vibration we are bringing. We now give in to no system. Nice up the place when I go play no victim. Only surrender to the sound system. MISSLULU just a rock and sing. Now give in to no system. We nice up the town. Thank you, Queen. Give thanks for having me.
Mundo Reggae Radio. Every time, every time.